Today, after an extensive and painstaking process, the inquiry has published its report. The inquiry has found that those who were involved in the assassination attempt against Sergei Skripal were morally responsible for Dawn's death, and that deploying a highly toxic nerve agent in a busy city was an astonishingly reckless act. The Chair concludes that the operation must have been signed off at the highest level of the Russian state, including President Putin. Now, in respect to the emergency services treatment of Dawn, the inquiry found that she received entirely appropriate medical care, but that tragically her condition was unsurvivable. In terms of preventability, the Chair has concluded that the government's public health advice following the attack on the Skripals was reasonable. He also found that although there were failings in the management of Sergei Skripal, the risk of assassination by Russian personnel was reasonably assessed, and based on that assessment, he did not need a new identity. The Director General of MI5 recently highlighted Russian state actors turning to proxies for their dirty work, recruiting disposable individuals on social media platforms, instructing them via encrypted apps, and then offering payment in cryptocurrencies. UK law enforcement has secured convictions in several significant cases just this year. 6 individuals spying for Russia, 6 men involved in an arson attack on a warehouse supplying Ukraine, an individual who attempted to offer services to Russian intelligence, and a former MEP who accepted bribes to promote pro-Russian narratives in the EU Parliament. These cases serve as a strong reminder for anyone seeking to facilitate or undertake hostile state activity for Russia on UK soil. We've specified Russia on the enhanced tier of the Foreign Influence Registration Scheme to make it even more challenging to conceal relationships with the Russian state. And Madam Deputy Speaker, I can now announce that the government is going further. Today, my right honourable friend, the Foreign Secretary, has imposed a further cost on the Russian regime by sanctioning the GRU under the Russia sanctions regime, along with several associated individuals. These sanctions recognise the continued reckless and destabilising activity of the GRU, which seeks to undermine Ukraine, European security and the safety of the United Kingdom. They will include sanctions against 8 GRU officers under the cyber sanctions regime and 3 GRU officers under the Russia sanctions regime, who have been implicated in hostile activity across Europe. We are also summoning the Russian ambassador to hold Russia to account for its responsibility for the tragic death of a British citizen.